Hey faceting friends, today I'm doing a very special unboxing of a unique and rare faceting machine from Brazil, so let's get to it. This is Justin K. Prim with the Gem Cutters Craft, and I wanted to do a small unboxing today of an old vintage faceting machine that just arrived FedEx this morning. So it's almost the end of the year. Obviously, most of the world is still locked down, and we're not going to be doing any holiday traveling this year because we're sort of stuck here in Thailand. So basically, I kind of gave myself a gift this year, which is 5 new pieces for the Faceting Museum. So I have some plans for 2021. I'm really hoping to get this museum at least temporarily into a public exhibition space here in Bangkok. So this is one of my major goals for the spring. So I'm trying to fill out the collection with a few pieces that I thought were really important or rare, or just that I was missing that played an important role in the history of faceting. And so I came across this one a couple of months ago. I haven't seen it yet. Obviously it's still taped up in the box, so you guys are going to get to basically experience this with me. I've only seen, you know, some snapshots of it from Brazil, so this just came from Brazil. So already just arriving, the box has kind of a funny story because it left Brazil. I think it went through 3 different cities in Brazil. It went to Peru. It went to, I think, Nashville. Then it went to Anchorage, Alaska. Then it went to China. And then finally from China it came to Thailand. So this thing's already been on a worldwide journey before I even open the box and talk about the amazing history that's inside of here. So let's just get into it and check it out. So this machine is unique, as you're going to see. You know, if you've ever looked into the world of gem cutting in Brazil, or really in South America, anywhere, it's pretty much all JamPeg, right? Like everyone down there is using JamPeg for emeralds and for aquas and for quartz and whatever else people are cutting down there. And so when I saw this one, so I don't have a machine from Brazil in my collection. So that was the first thing. I was like, okay, I don't have any South American machines in my collection yet. So I really wanted to add one. So I was like, okay, great, you know, this is cool, something totally unique. And then the guy told me the story of the machine, and that changed everything for me. And as we're gonna see, okay, so let's check out what's in here. I think there's also a book in here, if I remember correctly from our messages. Ah, yes. No, this is actually really exciting. I remember what this is now. Yes, the MDR, the Book of Gem Cuts, Volume 1 and 2. So I have a really tattered copy of Volume 1. I have never even seen Volume 2, so this is really exciting. This isn't what we're looking for here yet, so we'll talk about those in another time. Now, okay, let's get into the treasure here. So there's a few different pieces in here. Okay, there's basically one main piece and one what I think is either a preformer or a tabling adapter, and I haven't looked at it too closely yet because the pictures were small. But let's see here. Cool. So the guy that was selling these, I think he must have a cutting factory in Brazil or a workshop or something, and he had a few different like full-size benches, you know, like you know, JamPeg benches, tables, etc. And I saw this in one of the pictures, and I was like, is it possible to just get this one piece? You know, obviously I can't get the whole bench because it's in Brazil and I'm in Thailand, but he agreed, and you know, I wired him money and he sent me this in FedEx. And he told me a little bit of the story. So as I was saying, Brazil, everything is JPEG, right? So first of all, just seeing a masthead in Brazil is quite strange. And then once he told me the story, it's kind of a dream story. Okay, so let's just check this out real quick before we get into the story of the machine. So looks like we've got our protractor here. I'm not totally sure how they were using it, but it seems to make more sense if, yeah, so you pop it up and look at it like a normal mast. This gives us our index. So it looks like it's a 32 index. And then, so yeah, you've got your angle, you've got your index, and then here we've got our fine height adjustment and coarse height adjustment. So really, I mean, anything that we would do with a modern day mast machine. I mean, this isn't that different than a Graves. So it says Gemlap, and it looks quite professional. This isn't, to me, it doesn't really look like a handmade machine. And okay, this is a preformer, I guess. When I saw this in the picture, I thought it was a table adapter, but now that I see it, it's, yeah, you turn this. This is turning, you put your dock in here, so you can basically make a very slow round stone. I'm not sure if that's really that useful. And it doesn't look like there's any way to change the shape from round, but okay, still pretty cool. The story behind the machine is quite cool. So this belonged to a very well-known cutter in Brazil, and I already have the tag made up. So I'm calling this the Antonio Fares Borges mast, because that was who it belonged to. So he was a gem cutter and a mineralogist and a gem dealer starting in the 1940s. He spoke 5 languages. He was dealing minerals to the United States during World War II. And from what I've been told, this is somewhat of a famous mast in terms of the fact that it's cut some famous jewels. So in Brazil in the 50s, there was a huge aquamarine found that has a really deep, vivid blue color that they named after this beauty queen, Brazilian beauty queen named Martha Rocha. So Martha Rocha had really vivid blue eyes, and this giant aquamarine that they found was also sort of a deep, vivid blue color. And so supposedly this machine was the machine that did some of the faceting of that. You know, I mean, the piece was huge, so they probably, I guess, would have sliced it up and, you know, cut it into usable pieces around cracks and whatever. But anyway, so this Martha Rocha aquamarine was then, you know, some piece of it from this machine was then gifted from Brazil to Queen Elizabeth II, because she was inaugurated in 1954. And so I just looked up some of this info on Google, and it just pops up photos of her with this, you know, Brazilian aquamarine with this sort of story saying, you know, the governor of Brazil or whatever gifted the queen these aquamarines whenever she was inaugurated. So this is like a well-known story, but the backstory, or the less well-known story, is who did the cutting for that, which of course usually we don't get that kind of information whenever we get gemstones. But so basically what's been told to me is this was the machine that cut those stones, and Queen Elizabeth now owns those stones. So this pretty much puts me one step from the Queen. So let's hope that that's an indication of where things are going with all of this historical stuff. But quite a cool piece, definitely. As you can imagine, it's a great addition to my collection. I'm super psyched to have it, not only just to have a unique machine, which is not the normal machine that we see in Brazil. Most of those look like square wooden jam-peg boards, exactly the same as what we see in Germany today, you know, because we know that Germany has had a long tradition, you know, going from Idar Oberstein down to Brazil, looking for minerals and gems. So most of the cutting industry down there is German inspired, you know, like 1800s, early 1900s German inspired, but not this one. Very cool piece, very cool story, and I'm very excited to, you know, add it to my collection, put it onto the museum, and then I'm looking forward to a few more pieces that I'm hoping are going to come, if not by the end of the year. Then early in January, I've got 4 more new old pieces coming. A German handpiece coming from Spain, a British handpiece from the 1850s that's currently waiting for me in Chicago, a British mast machine that's currently in Canada, and a 1940s American handpiece O'Brien machine that just got picked up in Seattle and is making its way to Chicago to meet up with my other British handpiece so they can both get shipped over here at the same time. So January and the end of December are going to be, you know, kind of exciting times for me as we're adding to this beautiful collection and preparing the way for the first public exhibition. So hopefully you guys can join us. Let's see what happens. But anyway, I'll be here collecting faceting machines and doing my best to educate and entertain you guys. So keep on watching, and if you are appreciating the videos that I've been putting out on these channels, or maybe you've been following me on Facebook or Instagram and seeing all of the adventures in faceting that I've been going on, as well as the educational videos and the unboxings and everything else, if you guys have been enjoying these videos, please consider supporting me. I've got Patreon links down below. You can become a monthly patron and help me continue to make this stuff, help me to continue to get these machines and, you know, make the world a more awesome place for the world of faceting. The other way is by picking up one of these awesome faceting t-shirts. I've got a bunch of different ones available. You can check them out. There's also a link below. It's majusgems.com. That's our web store that has gemstones, t-shirts, and wall prints, all sort of gem cutting oriented. So I just want to thank you guys again for watching, liking, subscribing, and all of the good things that you do. Most of all, the great comments and the really, really nice emails that you guys are sending to me. Also, just want to throw it out here, if you guys have any vintage faceting machines that you're looking to get rid of, consider donating them. Half this collection now has pretty much been donated by you guys, and I really appreciate that. I'm definitely taking care of them and giving them a lot of love and putting them in context historically, and of course being able to show them off publicly sooner than later. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Justin K. Prim, live from Bangkok, signing off.